Welcome. In front of me I have the HUAWEI Nova 12i, and today I'll go over unboxing along with a quick look overview of this device. So anyway, let's just get straight into it. It's a typical HUAWEI experience right here, which, let's be honest, is nothing special. So let's boot it up. Yeah, so in the box, as you can see, we get a little pen flip, which is very typical of HUAWEI. And what it lets you know is that, hey, you can download applications instead of the Play Store from the App Gallery, which is basically the HUAWEI's substitution to the App Store. But if some applications don't exist on the App Store, you can still use Google Play Store on your other device, because I guess they assume that you're gonna have a secondary phone just for effing around if you can't find application on their store. So you could download that application on your Android device with Play services and then copy it over using phone clone to this phone. It's a solution, but it's additional step to a problem that doesn't exist on any other device. Now, outside of that, we also have the casing for the phone itself, so let's put that out. There we go. And then charger and the cable. Now the charger right here that we have is a 40-watt charger. This might be kind of hard to see under this, but it's like right here above my finger, 40 watts. And now it's a type C to type A charging cable, and yep, that's about it. So let's yeet that back in here all. Now let's talk about the display right here, which hopefully will be the best part of the device. So the display is a 6.7-inch display running a resolution of 1080 by 2308 pixels. It is an IPS LCD display with 90 Hz refresh rate. It boasts an 89.1% screen-to-body ratio and 391 pixels per inch. So the display right here, actually, I take it back, it's nothing special, it's very mediocre. Now let me quickly see the price of this device. Oh, there we go. So it's about 250, 60. Let's see. I'll do a quick conversion. $290. Oh, that's fantastic. 290, almost 300, without like $2. Almost $300 for a device like this. Yikes! That's a steep asking price there for such a dog shit. Anyway, let's talk about this. So right off the bat, you can probably already gather I don't have much positive things to say about this, as I almost nowadays never do about HUAWEI, just because their devices are overpriced for what they offer, and this one has no exception. So what you get is a mediocre display. At least it's 1080p. I'll take a W whatever I guess I can here. But where it starts to fall apart is in the internals. So we have a 5000 mAh battery, that's good. 40-watt charger, that's also okay. Then we have a Snapdragon 684G, let's go. A, what is it, 3-year-old processor in the device for $300. Are you feeling okay, HUAWEI, there? It comes also with 8 GB of RAM, 128 GB of storage, or 256 GB of storage with no expandable storage. Fantastic for a device that is more like a low-end device. It doesn't even offer you a expandable storage for already a steep price for a low-end device. Fantastic, we're off to a great start. Now, it does have a 108 megapixel camera at the back as the main shooter, f1.9 26mm wide lens. Then we get a 2 megapixel f2.4 depth sensor. Let's be honest, that's completely useless. Now, if you were thinking that we have something like a triple or quad camera setup right here, you would be, well, trolled by HUAWEI again, because this is just 2 cameras right here, and in reality this one is absolute dog shit, so you shouldn't even consider it, because this one will be the only camera you will be using for everything. It's not like there's a depth mode. Now this is just there to screw with you, and this is also there to screw with you, but it's a flash actually, so it does serve some purpose. Now at the front in a hole-punched camera, I think it's a hole-punched camera, we have an 8 megapixel f2.0 wide sensor. Now at front and back, even though you have a 108 megapixel back sensor, you can record videos at 1080p 30 frames. That goes for front and back. Okay, we're continuing on that fantastic trip to just what the hell device. Awesome. Now, moving on, we have a side-mounted fingerprint sensor, plastic back, plastic frame, glass front. I guess no surprise there. Yeah, that basically sums up the device. And now this last thing to mention, this device was released in April 16th of 2024. So this year offers a at least 3-year-old processor, overpriced tag for that processor, and yeah, pretty dogshit specifications all around. Now, what I find most hilarious is, let's see, I'm gonna check something as I want to be very like thorough about it. Let's see this. Bear with me while I'm just gonna check one processor and compare it to this one. Okay, so what I was checking right now was the processor that is in this device. It's a 4-year-old device, which still, honestly, that being said, this is already a just a massive L for Huawei. This is also a Huawei, mind you, and it's running their own processor called Huawei Kirin 98 or 980. Now it is slower than what's in here, but keep in mind this is a 4-year-old device at this point, I think, if not even older. Let's see. It was released in, oh no, my bad, it's a 6-year-old device. 5 if I'm being generous. So let's just say 5-year-old device, a little bit more than that though. 5-year-old device comes with obviously an old processor, supports 40-watt charging, kind of similar to this one. Comes with 6 or 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it is a bit slower, but it's also going to be cheaper, and it's a device that is already 5 years older than what is offered right here, and it's barely any worse. In terms of camera, I would argue it's probably going to be better than what is right here offered, even though this has 108 megapixels. Something tells me that the old Huawei's probably had better image processing, but I could be wrong about this one. But all in all, it's a very similar device, and honestly, just kind of begs the question, why would you overpay for a piece of shit like this when even own Huawei devices were used to be much better than what you're offered right here. Now, I just picked a super old device that is basically on the same kind of spec range as this one, but still, it kind of proves the point. If Huawei could produce this good of a device back then, this is overpriced and means nothing. And keep in mind that the one that I showed you, my device, the Mate 20 Pro, costs significantly less. Now you can't buy it new anymore as it's a 5-year-old device, but still it's cheaper. So with that being said, this phone basically doesn't offer anything that is worth your money. It doesn't even come with Play services, at least my 5-year-old device still does. And there's really no redeeming quality for it. The biggest problem for Huawei right now is what they want to charge consumers for their devices that are lacking in basically every single way. This one is lacking in display, and it's lacking in processing power, and it's lacking in the fact that it doesn't come with Google Play services. It's priced as a mid-range device offering a low-end specs and doesn't come with expandable storage. That's a lot of lacking for the price that's supposed to, in my opinion, have everything that I mentioned, that this one doesn't. And just to give you a comparison to other devices, like for instance, Poco X6, another Chinese phone. I tend to bring those up quite often just because I'm not shilling out for Xiaomi, but in terms of specifically Poco, they do offer a just massive bang for the buck. They're basically what you get in terms of a device for the money is insane. It's uncomparable to basically any other device, and that's the only reason why I recommend it. Now, when it comes down to Chinese phones, obviously they're both Chinese, just one isn't banned, therefore it has access to Google Play Store. And the Poco X6 specifically, which is the cheaper one, there's also a Pro version, comes at a price tag of about $269 compared to this one coming at $300. So it's already cheaper while offering you a Snapdragon 7S Gen 2, so stupidly better processor compared to this piece of silicon, let's call it that. And here has a bigger battery, faster charging, better cameras, better display, better charging speeds, under display fingerprint sensor, and everything that you would expect from a decent device at this price range. Now, actually, what you would expect from a device even more expensive than this. So not only do you get to save up money, you get a device that has basically everything that it can, that you would ever need. The only thing that it's lacking from like flagship devices is probably the more premium build quality, as the back is going to be, I believe, plastic. Yeah, plastic frame, plastic back. So you don't have the premium feel of a device. Neither do you have it here, so it's not like it makes much of a difference. And you don't have wireless charging, and that's really the only things that I can think about that are a bit of a step down. And the other one would be the storage type, which is UFS 2.2. This one doesn't even mention what it has, so let's be honest, it's nothing special. So like I said, I recommend checking out the Poco X6 or X6 Pro if you want to get a bit more expensive device, though it's going to be barely any more expensive than this one, as this costs what, $300 about. The Poco X6 Pro about 300 euros apparently. That might be incorrect, so it might be a little bit more, but it will come with a even faster processor that is compared to flagship devices. So anyway, I highly recommend checking out somewhere else, as the Huawei devices all in all are just overpriced and they don't offer you good enough value for your money. And luckily, if you're in US, you shouldn't even care about this, because it's not like you can buy it there. Which I guess US did you a nice, service and took away choice that shouldn't even exist anyway. But anyway, with that being said, hopefully you found this very helpful, and if you did, don't forget to smash like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.